1,000 subscribers, huh? Not gonna lie, never thought I'd get this far. This is a huge accomplishment I've dreamed of reaching, but never thought it would actually happen. Today's video is going to be a bit more personal, so if you don't care about the channel or me personally, which, I don't blame you, I'm just some dude on the internet, this video probably isn't for you, and that's cool. Today I wanted to share my story of how I got into content creation, what I learned on YouTube after 5 months, and the future of this channel. With all that said, let's start from the beginning. The year is 2010 and I'm an impressionable 14-year-old. I've been watching YouTube videos for a while and even dabbled in a channel that I made when I was 18. Which was absolutely terrible. Don't go looking for it. All of my videos were terrible, and yet I somehow made friends I'm still close with to this day. They've been with me through highs and lows, provided opinions on videos, and a whole bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. Getting back on topic, I looked up to YouTubers when I was younger and clearly wanted to be like them. The idea of getting paid to make videos and hang out on stream enticed 14-year-old Dogma, even though all of my content was bad. Fast forward 14 years later to 2024, and now I'm a jaded adult. Between attending college, working in fast food, interning, chasing money, taking on debt, and becoming an adult, I realized that life is very demanding. Like most adults and people that want financial freedom, we endure this vicious cycle to live the lives that we aspire to have. Simply put, we need to survive, and I had a job that I wasn't terribly passionate about, but it paid pretty well. Now, what I wasn't ready for was the current state of the job market that 2024 would have. In my "Are $70 games enough" video, I discussed how the gaming industry has been going through rounds of layoffs, but I would soon realize these layoffs wouldn't be exclusive to the gaming industry. As reviews approached at my company, it was becoming more and more apparent there wasn't enough work to keep everyone employed. Seeing the writing on the wall, I spent a week reflecting on everything in my life up to that point. I thought about internships that I've completed, life expectations, my degree in economics, family expectations, and my future. These questions would bring me to a halt as I asked myself, what do you want out of life? As days passed and reviews rapidly approached, I found myself watching YouTube videos, reminiscing about my old channel, my thoughts on games and media today, and what meaning in life actually looks like to me. And one day it hit me. I have a burning desire to talk about stuff I think is cool, so I started working on my first outline. What's funny about the first outline is that I accidentally deleted the entire thing and almost just wrote off this entire channel. But after talking about it with a friend and getting over losing all this progress, I said, fuck it, let's try it again. Eventually, after finishing the second draft, I wrote the script, fumbled my way through recording commentary, fought for my life in DaVinci Resolve, BS'd my way through Canva, and posted my first video. And finally releasing this video was so exciting, right? Like, I had 43 views after a day, some positive comments, and it was just cool to finally have my thoughts out there. This was my first time formally publishing my thoughts, but I had no idea what was next. I just played Nocturne, thought the game was super dope, and made a video about it. After seeing and reading the positive reception from everyone, I decided to take another pass at a game that I was also infatuated with, which was Resident Evil 1 Remake. The video blew up even faster than the Nocturne video. I had a few comments requesting for me to cover the entire series, and I just kind of sat there surprised that anyone cared what I had to say. The success of this video made me think about the channel, what it meant to me, and what I wanted to accomplish with it. Fast forward to today, and I crossed 1,000 subs, got partnered on YouTube, hit Twitch affiliate, the channel's growing, and now I have imposter syndrome since I'm just some dude speaking words behind a microphone right now. In this video, I wanted to openly talk about this weird journey we're embarking on together, the reality of creating content, what maintaining the channel looks like, and what I learned on YouTube 5 months later. The best place to start is with a philosophical question. Something I always ask myself before approaching an outline or writing a script is why? Not why are you writing, but why are you actually doing this? What inspires you and why are you creating something? I'm assuming if you've watched videos on YouTube, you've probably had the thought of making a video or possibly creating content, but why? Are you infatuated with the lifestyles of other content creators? Are you envious of people getting paid thousands of dollars to stream or do anything else? Most people I've talked to online and in person fall into 4 buckets. They want to be internet famous, escape their 9-to-5 jobs, want millions of dollars, or are genuinely passionate about creating content and sharing their ideas. And if you've seen any of my videos, you probably know which camp I'm in. Regardless of motivation and inspired by the survivors, content creators, you put your best foot forward as you start creating content. However, what most people don't tell you is how everything changes after pressing that upload button for the first time. When you release a video that gets a couple hundred views, you might be like me where that motivates you to create more stuff. Watching a video perform, reading positive comments, and having the cycle repeat is really exciting. This excitement will fade over time as you create more and more content. This isn't necessarily burnout or anything negative like that. It's more so about just, finding your flow of things. Everyone experiences this at work when you clock in, do your job, enjoy some downtime after, and content creation is no different, honestly. I'm fortunate enough to have a family and friends that are very supportive of what I do, but that's a luxury. Most people, I imagine, think that content creators just sit on their ass all day, hang out on streams, and don't necessarily work. And while this might be accurate for some, this couldn't be further from the truth for me, and especially bigger content creators. This is best illustrated through my video creation process. Obviously, this is just my process, right? Like, everybody obviously has different ways of going about things. So let's go over how I go from here to here. I usually start with just playing a game or watching a movie. Shocking, I know. After completing it, I sit on it for a few days and ask myself if it resonated with me, has it induced an idea, or if there's something unique that I can bring to the table that I'd like to say. If I land on nothing, I just play another game, but if I find something interesting or just want to talk about it, we transition into the outline phase. Once my mind is set, I begin building a detailed outline, helping me flesh out my thoughts, organize the sequence of events, and the relevance of things to the overall story I'm trying to tell with each video. I try to visualize each video as a story with a flow. Delivery, jokes, structure, and everything in between are important for making things entertaining and also informative. When the outline is done, I shift into writing the script. This is easily the most time-consuming part of what I do, and there's no comparison outside of maybe playing the game, but that's actually fun. For reference, I spent like 3 or 5 days writing that Silent Hill 2 video, so you could only imagine how long writing about a game is mechanically and narratively dense as SMT5 took me. This process isn't painful and I don't hate it or anything like that, it's just very time-consuming, or I'm a slow writer. Sure, I could leverage AI to write the script and trim this time down, but those words aren't mine, and I think my videos would be much less intimate since the script wouldn't be representative of my thoughts. After proofreading the script and going through several revisions, we find ourselves at my least favorite part of this process, which is what I'm doing right now, recording and editing commentary. If you've never ever recorded commentary, I implore you to try it. Listening to your voice for hours, finding the right tone, not being awkward, and finding your personal voice just takes time. I still think I'm finding mine, quite honestly. Sitting in a room alone trying to capture the excitement of talking to someone else is rough. Something else that sucks is recording commentary during the summer. Recording during the summer is like this literal crapshoot of trying not to sweat by turning the AC on and off, but you want to have a silent room, but you can't because the AC is too loud, and I can make a whole anyways, it's bad, just trust me. It's definitely a first world problem though, and it just sucks, so I'm gonna stop talking about that. When your audio is done and your voice is shot, we open DaVinci Resolve to bring everything to life. I think everyone knows that editing is just a time-consuming activity, right? Like when I started using DaVinci Resolve, the program I used to edit these videos, I looked up tips and tricks online for how to speed up the process. The funniest part about my research on YouTube, Reddit, and forums is that everyone just says that it's time-consuming no matter how good you get at it. Like, I'd offer to make a tips and tricks video, but there are much more qualified editors out there that actually know what they're doing. Like, I don't even know how to do motion graphics yet. Anyways, with the video complete, I boot up Affinity Photo and work on the thumbnail. When it comes to thumbnails, I'm usually envisioning something before the script is even written, and sometimes I even create them and write my video titles first. Affinity Photo is an excellent piece of software that I highly recommend to any up-and-coming graphic designers. A huge shout out to a good friend of the channel, TrapstepMedia, for putting me onto this software. It's really cool and helping me through it. I floated a lot of my thumbnails by him. He's helped me with a ton of graphic design on this channel, and a huge shout out to my friend SpellKnight for cooking up this incredible channel logo. With the thumbnail and video done, I upload everything to YouTube while I add tags, write descriptions, and all the other important metadata stuff. And this is the content creator flowchart, mostly. The only parts I left out are creating shorts, which is pretty much the same process without writing a script or making a thumbnail, live streaming, and interacting with everyone else. This whole process is actually pretty cool, and you'll get faster the more times you do it, of course. So this is what most people think of when they hear content creation. However, to my surprise, this is only half the process. I refer to the other half as the quote-unquote reality of content creation. After uploading the Nocturne video, I was surprised to find an analytics tab providing me with tons of information. There are countless videos of people more qualified than I am covering these metrics. Although these metrics are undeniably valuable, data is just data at the end of the day. If you haven't studied statistics or are uncomfortable with data science, understanding that data is meant to inform your conclusion is a fundamental principle. Unfortunately, this isn't common knowledge, and some content creators live and die by their analytics. If YouTube is your full-time job and your data-driven approach is working, hey man, more power to you. But for smaller channels like me and those of us newly exposed to all of this, Here's my take. Just bear with me for a sec. I know this is going to sound crazy, but let's just take Atlas as a hypothetical example. This year in 2024, Atlas will or has released Persona 3 Reload, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and Metaphor ReFantazio. It's fair to assume Atlas forecasted budgets for all these projects 5 to 10 years ago. These budgets may have influenced hiring additional employees, allocating enterprise-wide resources, and received Sega's blessing before executing these initiatives. Excluding development milestones, Sega and Atlas have no idea how long everyone's lunch breaks are, how many specific hours everyone works that week, the cost of depreciating assets like unused IPs, office rooms, and more. So why did I just go over corporate strategy 101? Well, I wanted to highlight a few metrics that companies closely monitor on a quarterly basis. YouTube, conversely, provides us with live, in-depth updates every minute of every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, all year round. If it's unrealistic for a massive conglomerate like Sega to micromanage each company's line of business in their portfolio with independent teams, then why am I losing sleep over video impressions and average watch time? And before someone brings up, oh, well, economies of scale, there aren't enough hours in the day to meaningfully analyze all this data while trying to produce videos, draw my own conclusions, and create a purely data-driven approach. The other counter argument I can see someone make is, well, can we figure out a company's well-being based on their stock price? A company's stock price fluctuates due to interest rates, divestitures, acquisitions, SEC filings, equity reports, supply chain issues, and most importantly, consumer psychology. Consumer psychology plays a huge role in influencing stock prices and how I, in parallel, derive insights from channel analytics. While some of this data can only be interpreted one way, absolutely, there's plenty of open-minded metrics and things outside of your control that allows us to approach all this data from different angles. Plenty of content creators obsess over these and spend hours analyzing them to craft the best approach for reaching their target audience through the almighty YouTube algorithm. Now, there are literally hundreds of courses from successful YouTubers, articles, and videos of people claiming to understand the algorithm and having the best search engine optimization practices. And while I've read through some articles and watched a few videos with some good advice, two things became very clear. You need to be tenacious and content is king. All of us find inspiration from different places. As a basketball, film, and hip-hop fan, I find myself admiring Michael Jordan, Christopher Nolan, and Kendrick Lamar. Weird group of people, I know, but just give me a sec. Jordan the Bull's tenacity to win back-to-back three-peats, Christopher Nolan's ability to constantly wow me with his filmmaking, and Kendrick Lamar's incredible storytelling and lyrical mastery are some of the aspects I admire from these artists. While these are all admirable traits, we tend to focus on the destination rather than the journey when we're looking to be inspired. Jordan accomplished what he did because of an incredible supporting cast and his competitive fire. Christopher Nolan came up in the film industry, meaning he's probably worked countless unpaid hours, and Kendrick Lamar has literally documented his journey in Good Kid, Mad City and eventually Damn. The grind, the hustle, the trenches, or whatever you want to call it, is what everyone that's ever been great at something has endeavored. Now, listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not one of those overly optimistic people who think everyone should just quit their job and pursue their passion. Absolutely not. Everyone isn't 6'6" with a 42-inch vertical, has a family in the industry, or has a father who personally knows Top Dog. Everyone has some luck and unfair advantage in their lives. Additionally, we usually ignore the clear survivor bias when it comes to admiring people. Survivor bias, for those who don't know, is when you focus on the minority that have made it while ignoring the majority who failed in the process. There's a plethora of reasons why people succeed and fail, but something I learned from my mother and father is to never let anyone out hustle you. Most successful people have dedicated hundreds to thousands of hours of hard work in pursuit of their ambitions, and I don't see myself as any different. Everything I just discussed is why I strive to improve my titles, thumbnails, delivery, stream, writing, editing, and most importantly, creating something that I take pride in while being open to feedback. And by creating something valuable, I'm literally talking about my content. So let's quickly discuss the importance of making good stuff. Alright, hypothetical scenario. Let's say you just finished beating Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne and you wanted to watch some video essays on it, right? So you go to YouTube, type in the game, find a bunch of videos, and click on one of them. And if you know nothing about YouTube or any Atlas content creators, you will more than likely click on a video with lots of views or an appealing thumbnail, right? So from there, you have literal seconds to incentivize someone to watch your entire video. If they don't like it, they'll turn off your video and watch someone else. Your introduction needs to be strong because first impressions matter, and there are tons of creators on this platform. Your first video doesn't need to be perfect. I can barely watch my own if we're being honest, but it should respect someone's time by providing something worthwhile. And if your first video is rough, like there's nothing wrong with that. Just listen to constructive criticism and address one thing at a time. Hopefully this can be seen by comparing the Nocturne video with the Silent Hill 2 video that came out a few weeks ago. In the Nocturne video, I'm literally nervous talking in a room to myself, speaking too fast, which I still do. And I have no idea what I'm doing with the title or the thumbnail, and I fought for my life in DaVinci Resolve every minute. After tearing apart that video with a few friends and reading comments about me speaking too fast, I took a breather, slowed down, and focused on compelling visual storytelling to better articulate my words. Implementing everyone's feedback and being open to constructive criticism has, in my opinion, helped me drastically improve as a creator. And at the end of the day, what you produce, how you brand it, and how you present yourself to strangers is very important on this platform. And despite all of this, sometimes you have to take a step back and ask yourself, why are you doing this? While it's a dream to do this full time and be able to take care of myself, most people don't make it on this platform. And I mean, I certainly haven't either. Something I always talk about on my channel during streams or tweets is that Dogma's Domain is a creative outlet for me to just kind of express myself. This is a place for me to talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. I love making videos for everyone. Streaming is a ton of fun with you guys. I'm grateful for everyone's patience between videos and my flexibility to cover pretty much anything here. Could I have been more popular if I stuck with Megaten? Absolutely. My channel probably would have grown much faster if I only covered Megaten, the Persona games, and modern Atlas releases, but I'd rather grow slowly, talking about everything rather than getting burnt out and quitting the channel. So, what was the point of this entire video? Honestly, I don't really know. I really just wanted to thank everyone for subscribing and sticking it out with a new person on this platform. Honestly, I'm a little floored by how much work all of this really is, but I'm having fun with it, learning a lot, and I'm grateful for everyone that's been on this journey with me, even if it's the blind leading the blind. The other thing I wanted to accomplish with this video was to just be transparent with everyone. I want everyone to know where my head's at with making videos and to celebrate this huge milestone that we crossed together. While all this YouTube stuff can be a bit overwhelming, I feel great, and I think I have a healthy balance between work, life, and my mental sanity of doing all this YouTube stuff. While it would be great to grow even faster, saying that feels greedy. It took us 4 months to hit YouTube partner, reach Twitch affiliate. I've gotten to know everyone in the comments and on Discord, and I sincerely can't thank everyone enough for supporting what I do here. Anyways, I think it's time for me to stop rambling and get out of here. Thanks again for everything, everyone, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this channel. And if everything falls apart, it is what it is. But until that day comes, I'm gonna keep having fun.